Cheesehead TV brings you two guys who like to think they know something about football.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Packer Transplants Live. I am Aaron Negler, and I am joined as always, by Mr. Corey Banke, my partner here at Cheesehead TV. I'm coming to you live from Cheesehead TV, New York. Corey joins us across the street from Lambeau Field, and we are ready to talk some Packers. What do we have on tap today, Corey?
Today, we'll get over the embarrassing loss to the Panthers and look ahead to a huge showdown with the Eagles on Monday Night Football. But right now, it's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. We got the good, we got
Xavier McKinney.
We got the bad, we got
Jordan Love's interception.
We got the ugly, we got
your Green Bay Packers. Pretty ugly display there on Sunday afternoon there, Corey Banke. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good. I've been looking for the green shoots the last
green shoots?
2.5 days.
Green shoots?
You know the green. You know what? Sunday.
What's up?
I meant to send you this. I meant to send you this picture, but I didn't get approval from my friend. Friend of mine had a little too much vibes, good times.
Couple two trees.
I swear to God, I had a dead body on my front lawn. I sent a picture of it.
Oh God!
It was one of these where it's a complete stick on your front yard, like hands to the side, totally face planted into the front next to the car, with with little mounds of puke. So it's like big puke, medium puke, little puke, and then but like I kept checking on him. Like, I kept checking on him every 10 minutes, and he'd be like, I'm fine. God. And, like, you know how, like, when I tell people to leave, I have lost friends that just don't leave me the F alone when I tell you to leave me alone. Like, I don't need, like, I've lost friends over that, right? So I'm like, okay. So, meanwhile, he was out for so long, I ended up going out in the garden and propagating like 72 plants, meaning I took plants from the garden, I'm like rooting them in hormone, I'm putting them in trays, and then every like 10, 15 minutes I'd finish a tray, I'd go out there and be like, are you doing okay? Because I'm like, I could do this, I could get this vision in my head of like God. Green Bay's finest, like just showing up, like, sir, there's a dead body on your lawn.
There's a body in your yard.
That's against ordinance.
Yeah, they wouldn't be concerned with the fact that he was dead. Just that it was against.
Well, they would check first, and then they'd be like, sir.
Oh, God.
Sir. I think you get a little
Wait,
bit
is this someone I know?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's someone I know, though. They were,
I hope so.
You know, hey,
I would hope so.
Here's the other PSA for those Packer fans out there, especially those younger fans watching the show.
Oh, here we go.
Here's the thing about life that no one tells you. So I'm giving you a little behind the scenes here.
Right.
We keep thinking, especially for those of us that drink alcohol. I know Nagler's been a part of this. So
I don't know what
you think you get more experienced and you get a higher tolerance. But actually, the reality is your body is literally disintegrating as you get older. And you might have the tolerance, but you can't handle it. You think you can handle stuff and you just can't as you get older.
Yeah.
You just can't. It don't matter.
Yeah, man, no lies told there. That's for sure. And hopefully this person, hopefully realized it after that. I mean, that's the dream. But
he had a little bit of a walk of shame the next morning.
I would think so.
I mean, I got him inside, okay? I was a good friend. I got him inside, and I didn't try to get him anywhere closer than the living room couch. You know, it's like, hey, I just need you to make it
out here.
I got a nice bucket. I got a bottle of water, a glass of water, and a towel, and a wet towel and a dry towel, and I just left him the F alone. And that's all you need in life. You know, you want a friend who's going to just, I only need to get you to this place because I don't want to get a fine. You know what I'm saying?
Right, of course.
As long as I'm not getting fined.
Concerned about their well-being, you know.
Yeah, of course. Fine. But like, I don't want to move you too much because I know that's hurting.
Because it feels terrible in the moment, right? Well, it sounds like you're a good shepherd. unlike Matt LaFleur. See how's that for a segue there, Banky?
The funny thing is, are you
Matt
ever going to do a
LaFleur.
good segue where you don't actually pat yourself on the back? Like, we've done
Nope,
309 shows, and I don't
This
think
is
there's
310.
one. Okay.
It's
Well,
310.
in 309, you know, it was funny. I was on Inside Wisconsin today. Shout out, a little teaser.
Shout out Trevor.
And
Yeah.
I was talking about this show and our first season.
Oh God.
And I was talking about how we would spend
Lord.
2 to 3 hours to get 20 minutes perfect.
Like literally like prepping and rehearsing and
Prepping, rehearsing.
like legit going through how our line delivery would be.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
you should say this, and then I'll come in and I'll say that. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that'd be good.
Been getting it if you listen to those first 8 episodes, which I don't even know you can get them anywhere. You probably can't.
I don't think you
probably
can get them.
anywhere.
Thank God.
If you do listen to them, they are that's gold. They are solid, perfect gold. They're probably boring as hell, but they're gold.
Probably.
They're gold.
But they kind of sound like NPR covering the Packers is what they sound
basically.
like. So, everybody's got to
Well,
start
to
somewhere.
be fair, our biggest competition at the time was a podcast called Packers Therapy. So
That's true. That's very true. Those dudes are still going, I believe. I think they're on. I can't remember whose platform they're on, but I think they're still going.
Oh, they had a gap.
They're not
I
active
think,
on
though.
Twitter,
They did
but
have a gap. They had a
They
gap.
did. But then they came back, and
Nice.
yeah, you don't see them on social much, but I think they're still producing that podcast, which is
Shout
right.
out
that's one of the
Packers
OGs.
Therapy. That is
Packers Therapy.
That's probably the only
OG.
podcast older than ours, honestly.
Probably, absolutely.
Because Railbird Central ain't around anymore.
Railbird started after, right? After we did.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Before we get going, let's give a shout out to our good friends over at Nicolay Law. Support for Packer Transplants comes from Nicolay Law, a personal injury law firm serving folks across the Midwest. If you've been injured, you need more than just a quick payout from the insurance company. You need someone who will actually fight for what you deserve so you can focus on healing and moving forward. That's what Nicolay Law does. They help people get the best possible outcome. No upfront fees, no legal jargon, no big egos. Just local attorneys who have your back when it matters most. To learn more, visit nicolaylaw.com or give them a call at 1-855-NICOLAY. Do it, folks. Corey, we have a new way of doing this next segment. The hotness will no longer feature any video. I am done. I am sick and tired of having to deal with the NFL getting emails later in the week. Like, you're not allowed to use that content. Well, it's coach's tape. It's not broadcast. Like, well, you're not allowed to use it. I'm done. And we had to cut it out from the episode. If you go on YouTube right now and look at last week's episode, the hotness, it's no longer there because we had to exercise so we can continue to monetize our videos. God forbid it totally falls under fair use, but they know we don't have the resources to fight them in court, for God's sake. So you're getting pictures from now on, people. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm done. Let's get to the hotness. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the hotness.
It's the whirling.
I mean,
it's the like. I don't usually get to
so
that part.
good.
I like it.
I know, right? I like it a lot.
It reminds me of that. It reminds me of Fantasy Island a little bit.
Oh, that's good.
It's got a little bit of Fantasy Island vibes.
It does. It does. It's a remix of a Barry White track, which is amazing that it's never ever been flagged. But it is such a cool fucking remix, and it's this dude does underground stuff, and I've always loved that mix. It's so good.
It's somewhere between Fantasy Island and Love Boat for me.
That's pretty good. Pretty good pull. All right, Christian Watson hauling in this deep pass from Jordan Love over two dudes. That is hot. The issue, of course, is that I think it gave Jordan Love the confidence to just chuck it for Jesus later in the game when he threw his interception. But it was a pretty phenomenal play by Christian Watson. No question about it. There you go. There's your hotness, Corey. That's the new way of doing things around here. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm done. Let's get to some Packers news, shall we? We got lots of Packers news to talk about.
Oh, dear.
Maybe not lots, but we got some Packers news to talk about. The headline, of course, and it's unfortunate, but it is the headliner for the week. It's Tucker Kraft has been placed on injured reserve. His season is over after tearing his ACL against the Panthers. Corey, can I just say, and then we'll move on, God, that sucks. Especially after the game he had against Pittsburgh, ready to ascend. I mean, he pretty much announced himself as the next star tight end in the league, and now he's done for the year.
And
Corey.
Also that he did it hitting in his own blue on blue
friendly fire. Yeah. I mean, look, I got no problem. Like, I know some people were going after the Panthers for how they played it and blah blah blah. It's like it's a totally legal play. It sucks big time, but it's not the Panthers' fault. It's not that linebacker's fault in any way, shape, or form. It's just the absolute worst timing. Although it does draw into sharp relief when people are like, oh, we can do this and that in the future, and we're going to have this and that. This is why every game is so important, and this is why you don't take anything for granted in the National Football League. Because 1 week you're riding high, you've beat the Steelers, you got all these great moves on offense, you're putting up tons of points, you got a star tight end, and then the next week you're losing to the Panthers and you've lost said star tight end for the rest of the year. And now you've got to adjust. That is why you don't take anything for granted in the NFL.
I mean, we do have Luke Musgrave.
We do. We do indeed. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Other news, cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. is scheduled to visit with the Packers tomorrow, I believe is the timeline. He's with the Panthers here. He was with the Panthers today, will be with the Packers tomorrow. He is also visiting the Vikings, 49ers, and Bears. So he's going on a bit of a whirlwind free agent tour. For those of you who don't know, former Chargers corner who had a back issue, had to leave football for a while and was recently medically cleared and is now going on his get to know you tour with all these teams. I know people are excited by the prospects, but Corey, you know what I'm going to say. I'll be very surprised. I'll be very surprised, especially given how many other teams are involved. Yeah. I can't see the Packers. I mean, obviously they'll have the medical information once he gets in the door and that will help drive the decision. But yeah, I don't see them outbidding someone for a guy who's had to be out of football for as long as Asante has. And I think he has been a good player at times, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Other moves that were made while people were waiting to see if the Packers would make a trade on the trade deadline, which of course they did not. They did sign defensive lineman Aaron Mosby and tight end Josh Wiley to the active roster from the practice squad, which is the most uber Packers thing ever. And just for the record, Corey, if Josh Wiley does anything, maybe he's not even active on Sunday or on Monday night, sorry. But if he does anything at any point in the Packers uniform, I will call him Noah Wiley. I'm already resigned to that fact. It will happen.
Gotcha.
We'll get past it. The Noah Wiley is coming.
Well, I don't think he will be signed because because there's no slots available because we got to keep 2 kickers on the roster.
Other signings of note, Corey's favorite, the practice squad. We got Castles, Dabney, Welch, and Woods the second to the practice squad, two tight ends, a linebacker and a wide receiver. The Packers have also released offensive lineman Lectius Smith from the practice squad to make that room necessary. Poor Smith. He's been on and off the Packers, both the offseason roster, practice squad. I think this is his second time. Man, kid can't catch a break. But finally, in some positive news, Tramon Williams and Earl Dotson are going to be enshrined in the Packers Hall of Fame. So that's some good news.
That's very exciting. Great. Love it for both of them.
I love it for both of them. And I love Tramon giving you and I both a shout out on Twitter. That was pretty dope, I got to admit.
Definitely love Tramon. Friend of the he's
love
been on the show. Been on the show.
Has been on the show.
Rare
times.
Packer player to be on the show because a couple times, right? We have been on 2 times.
Well, he's been on both Packer Transplants and he's been on the draft show, the draft stream a couple times.
Oh yeah. He was on Packer Transplants like 2 years ago, right?
Yep. And
you know
that
what
was
I was
where he
thinking
dropped
about?
Bombshell that he was going to maybe start in that playoff game. He was re-signed. Crazy.
You know what I was thinking about is I was thinking about the time when we had Wes on the show, but it was up here, and it was like me and Wes,
I remember that. Yep.
And then it was like two of us in a one box and you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I need to bring that back because I was looking at pictures and I was like, oh, that's adorable. So maybe we need to have that happen again. Cause
we need some guests. We need a guest to come over to your home and hang out with you. That's what.
Yeah, no, it's more Wes than a guest. Like I don't really want a guest, but I wouldn't mind Wes.
No, that's true. That makes sense. I like it.
Like if Wallers wanted to come over here, I'd probably have to tell him no, just because in principle.
Whoa! Wait, what? What? We got some beef? We got some beef with Packers PR that I don't know about? What's happening?
No, you know about it. He hasn't DM'd me back on Twitter since I DM'd him.
Oh, right. The lack of DMs. Right. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But the lack of DMs
Wallers,
based on
I know you watch
issue.
every week like religiously, so now here it is. This is your call out. I know he doesn't watch because he always fucking texts while we're doing this damn show. Lord, that's like everybody though. Like literally everybody starts texting us during the show, and it's like,
it's 4:00. Okay, what are you doing?
Why are you hurting me like this? Because I know you should know that we're live on the air, but you clearly don't, and now you're just hurting my feelings. Let's talk about the Packers offense because that's what we do.
Why?
Two guys who like to think they know something about football.
Why?
Oh, Corey, because we started 18 years ago and we can't stop now. That's why.
Dear man.
Red zone woes. Corey, this game was amazing. Amazing. For the fact that there were possessions in the red zone that resulted in like ways and things that I've never seen. And I've been watching football for 50 plus years. I mean, there was that one red zone drive, the one red zone trip where they ended up going backwards on 4 successive plays.
Jesus.
4 plays in a row, Corey. I don't know, man. I don't know. They marched up and down the field.
That's the thing. I mean, there is that is the positive is that if you look at like okay, long term, midterm, one of my biggest issues, and I think everybody's biggest issue is when are we going to solidify our O line? And you're starting in that game. Yes. What's funnily enough is you're starting to see the solidification of the O line. But yeah, you're right. As soon as you got to the 20-yard line, it was like, hi, what do we do now?
Disaster. Just disaster. And it's like some of it is, the play calling. I know people are really upset about the amount of horizontal stuff they've seen in the red area, which I get it. But at the same time, you got 2 touchdowns out of that very kind of style of play against Pittsburgh. Xavier Williams is going sideways on his first touchdown in the NFL. Tucker Kraft is out in the flat. They throw a run solution. He turns it up, touchdown. It's like, so I get the frustrations with the play calling. But at some point, you got to fucking execute, man. Like the fumble by Xavier Williams, getting blown up in front of Emmanuel Wilson on that 3rd down. Like, at some point, you got to execute. And in the red zone, in this game in particular, for whatever reason, they just kept self-destructing. And I'm just past the point where I can say, oh, they're, it's a young team or whatever. Like, sure, Xavier Williams is a rookie. I understand that. But there are so many guys on this team who have played so many snaps for the Packers. Yet we continuously see mistakes after mistakes. That's the other thing. It's not just one guy. It's everybody. So I don't understand. I mean, if I'm LaFleur, I'm pulling my hair out. If I'm the position coaches, I'm like, I don't know who to send out there because I can't trust anybody. Holding calls, offside, false starts. Like, at some point, the players got to lock in. And to me, that was the biggest kind of culprit here, is the fact that the Panthers clearly came knowing this was a game, and the Packers thought it was, an obligation. Like, I guess we got to play this game. Like, the difference was stark by their play styles.
Yeah.
Drove me nuts.
Which is why I'm actually very positive about Monday night. I'm scared, but I'm positive. I feel like Monday night is going to be one.
I think they'll look worlds better on Monday night.
I think they'll look worlds better, whether we beat the Eagles or not. If we beat the Eagles,
it's going to be a tough game.
Here's what's funny.
It's going to be a tough game.
Here's what's funny. This is what's hilarious to me is for as much crap as the national media has been talking this week, if we beat the Eagles, we'll go like, okay,
Oh,
the New
we're
York
Super Bowl
Times
contenders again. Trust me.
First off,
Yeah.
the New York Times, which basically has Matt Schneidman and a bunch of morons at The Athletic that don't even know anything about
It's
football.
just The Athletic.
The New York
They don't even
Times
have a
basically.
sports.
The New York
Yeah, they don't have a
Times
sports-
used to not know anything about football. Now they know like +1 on football. On their ranking, okay, they had
Oh, boy, here we
Kansas
go.
City. They had Kansas City 3 up on us. They had us 11th or 9th or something. It was ridiculous. It's like,
All right.
okay, slow down. We still only lost 2 games, okay? Bunch of morons.
Though it is funny though because Kansas City has
Sports
the exact
writers are
same
the
record
worst.
now as the Carolina Panthers. It's kind of interesting. We just lost
Well,
to
and
that
everybody,
team.
they've got them like 6th. I'm like, oh.
I know.
Recency
they just got
bias
beat
is a thing,
by
man.
the Bills.
Recency
Yeah.
bias is real, bro. It's real. It's real.
Correct.
It's like
Very,
recency
very
bias, and then the one where when you have a little bit Dunner. You
I know what
I'm
you're
about.
talking about. I'm not going to say it because I'll butcher it, but I know I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
You're
the
not
one where you think when you're a little bit smart, then you think you're really smart, instead of when you're really smart, you know you're stupid. Yeah, it's that one. Dunn-Kruger effect,
One of those.
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yep,
I
believe
think I
you're
got it right finally. But those two things, recency bias and that, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's all sports.
And then you mix it together, and yes, it's a potent mix, no question about it. So yes, the Tucker Kraft injury is a bummer. You hate to see it. Luke Musgrave, this is your moment. And what's interesting is I don't think anyone really thinks this, that Luke Musgrave is going to come in and be asked to do what Tucker Kraft was doing, right? Like, there's no way they utilize him the same way they were utilizing Kraft. But I do think, man, you saw it at the end of the game when they drove for that touchdown, on that touchdown drive. They can utilize him in the offense as a weapon. Like, he is still, relatively young in the league, has had 2 seasons now where he was cut short and wasn't been able to, like, really contribute because he's been hurt. But, man, he's done a nice job when his number has been called this season. And now I think his number, obviously, is going to be called a little bit more. And I like the prospect of Musgrave being, God forbid, a bit of a vertical weapon in this offense. And I know that's not – this is a horizontal offense. That's what they like to do. But I do think Musgrave can help you kind of unlock this too high stuff that every team is going to play against you, including the Eagles. Like, and it was funny, as I know last year, Love tried to hit Musgrave down the seam in week 1, and that went incomplete, etc. But that's the kind of thing I think Musgrave gives him a little something in that regard, where it's not really how they attacked with Tucker. Tucker was very much get it out in the flat, get on a slant, and let him go because he's such a yak monster. But I do think because of his athleticism, his speed, what have you, I think Musgrave can give you something down the field. And I'm very anxious to see. Hopefully they start to unlock some of that because he is such an athlete. He can be so explosive. Hopefully we start leaning into that a little bit now that he's going to have to be out there a lot more.
I am going to tag team off of something Dusty Evilly put on his Twitter account, which I think kind of made sense to me, which was, Musgrave being in, they're going to have a lot more 11 personnel than they have been doing. And it's just going to be, which I do think is not a bad thing. Like, if you have the 2 tight ends, you want to use them more. But I do think, our wide receivers and the way that we run the ball with 3 wide receivers is typically better than when we have 2 tight ends because we didn't really even
because
with
one of them
Kraft
is
and somebody else.
Musgrave.
Yeah, one of them was Musgrave. But I do think but also
I mean, you're not wrong.
I do think that lends itself to, look, there's so much about this offense that it's like sometimes we run different personnel groupings for confusion. And, being in a sometimes
consistent personnel group.
Sometimes, I'm trying to say this. Sometimes when you don't have the budget or you don't have the numbers or you don't have the people, you got to get creative. And what I mean by that is sometimes it forces you into situations where you don't maybe want to do this, but you have to, and you learn a lot about that. And it puts you in better situations because it allows you to have more consistency. That's where I'm kind of getting at, right? It's like you're forcing us to have consistency because if we go 11 personnel, okay, that's a much simpler. Like it's one set. We're not changing our personnel groupings too much, Yeah,
3 wide receivers, your 1 back, your 1 tight end, and away you go. And maybe that means they can play more up tempo because they don't have to be subbing in and out all the time, right? There's a lot of possibilities there. Corey, I very much agree with everything you just said, but I will say for myself, what I would love this to do is to force Matt into actually more heavy personnel. And I know that's not going to happen. I understand that. I'm resigned to it. But if you watch the Seahawks, if you watch the Rams, especially McVay when Nakua went down, they were out in London, man. They were running 3 tight end sets and throwing to deep reserve tight ends. 4 touchdowns, by the way, and first downs and big gains, because you force teams to get into base personnel, essentially, right? If they're a 4-3 team, they're running 3 linebackers out there rather than nickel or even dime, a bunch of defensive backs, etc. And we saw a glimpse of this earlier this year against the Commanders. If you go back and you watch that game, that Thursday nighter, there's a play where Kraft gets a 56-yard gain out of 13 personnel. They have 3 tight ends on the field.
We don't even have 3
And I'm not
tight
saying
ends
like
playing.
you can run that all the time, but I would love them to get into that. Get into that and get teams to get heavy on you. And then not just Musgrave, but I think Fitzpatrick can give you stuff in the passing game as well. Like, I'm not saying
I hear that.
do it all the
here's
time.
The only problem with that
it as a
is the
change-up.
whole point of personnel groupings is to go to who is you're favorable for. So
I
right
know.
now,
Yeah.
we
I
are
don't disagree.
very weak at tight end, and we are very
Yep.
strong at running back. At wide receiver.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's
I hear
just
you.
like. And we do have good blocking wide receivers. Like when you
We do.
guys
We
that
do.
can block in space and understand how to block. There's been misses. There's that wide receiver screen miss that he missed.
There have been several of those.
There's
this year
misses,
now.
but also
Yeah.
do we need to call? I think the biggest thing I saw on social and that people have been complaining
Oh
about
my God,
besides
it's
Tucker Kraft out
hilarious,
is
dude.
how many times we run like screens and wide receiver screens.
Oh my God,
and,
the wide receiver screens, and it's
dear.
not always a called wide receiver screen. Sometimes it's what they
course.
call a run solution. It's like the numbers dictate. Okay, this is a run call, but we're going to throw it because out there that looks, it's a horizontal. It looks like a wide receiver screen, etc. Because that's the quarterback saying, okay, I'm taking the numbers advantage on the outside, and sometimes it's good. Like that's literally what happened on Tucker Kraft's touchdown, the first one in Pittsburgh. Yep. So it's like sometimes that works. I get it. But yes, the number of times it feels like they're going horizontal has gotten to be very, very annoying. No question about it. Especially because this is the other part. And this is the idea that other teams watch the games, they watch the tape, they've seen what the Packers want to do. So these defensive backs are triggering the second Jordan Love just rises up. And, if he turns even slightly to make that throw, and the guy at the line of scrimmage steps back to receive the pass, man, they are triggering so hard to blow up whatever blocker is out there and then get to the ball as soon as it arrives. That's happened now 3 or 4 times. So at some point, I am begging Matt LaFleur from the bottom of my soul, can we get a pump and go? Can we pump that, have that guy release upfield and throw it vertically? Because they keep crashing on it and blowing it up and putting you behind the sticks. That is driving me insane. Insane. Of course, it's easy to talk about all of this, Corey. You did allude to it earlier. But the one thing they've got to figure out is the offensive line. And right now, it's the O-line blues getting played each and every week. I mean, every week there's something that happens that is, I'm not going to say near catastrophe, but kind of derails the offense because of a lack of consistency, continuity, whatever you want to call it, up front. Aaron Banks finally puts together a couple good performances, comes out on Sunday, lasts 9 plays, and now all of a sudden you've got, Sean Ryan at left guard where, he's played precious few snaps. Why they don't move Jordan Morgan over there once that happened, I'll never know. But, yeah, they're not going to do anything that we want them to do on offense. They're not going to be productive on a consistent basis until they start getting some kind of consistency up front. Like, it doesn't matter. You can draw up all the greatest plays. You can use whatever personnel you want. But if your offensive line continues to shit the bed, you're going to be in neutral, and you're not going to move the ball and you're not going to score points. That to me is a number one thing.
I mean,
we talk about it all offseason, every offseason. The offensive line is the engine, and right now their engine is sputtering.
I mean, they it's like weird because like you look at some running plays where we're blocking in ways that we haven't before. So you'll see things
and they're really
like
productive,
that,
right?
And where like, you know, again, like I saw a play where like they literally play like a wedge and open up a hole for Josh Jacobs and just there definitely were things we haven't seen before, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As soon as we got down to the red zone, it was like, hi, we don't
yeah, no, it just kind of fell apart, no doubt. Flipping it over to the defensive side of the ball, also, let's stay along the lines. Packers just got whipped up front. Like, you can talk about who was out there or whatever, and I know Wood went out at some point during the game and blah, 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 but, man, they just got absolutely whooped across the line. It didn't matter interior, the defensive ends, and, look, I respect Micah Parsons and everything he's talking about post-game about, you know, a lack of pressures. And yes, he's 100% correct as far as there were no real true drop back opportunities for him to pin his ears back, whatever, and get after the quarterback, right? But at the same time, it wasn't like he or any of his teammates covered themselves in glory getting off blocks and making tackles at or behind the line of scrimmage. Like every run play seemed to get, you know, first of all, the back Dowdle, who had a phenomenal game.
He had a great game.
He gets that initial kind of burst through the line. They have guys there. No one sheds a block. And then if the backers or even safeties are on him and have an opportunity to get him on the ground, he's running through their tackle attempts for every time being what it should have been a 2, maybe 3-yard gain, turning into a 5 or 6-yard gain. It's the same thing we saw down in Dallas. Like, they have got to be better when it comes to the technique of arriving, putting guys, you know, getting guys arms around them, not just throwing a shoulder into him and getting him on the ground, because that was a team in particular that wanted to take the air out of the game, run the football, and stay ahead of the sticks. Their whole game plan was about that concept, and they were able to because the Packers got whipped up front.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how really the blueprint for teams that have beat the Packers right now have done it with a disciplined quarterback, throwing short, not dropping back more than 3-step drops.
Right.
I mean, like what Micah said, I think he said there were 2 dropbacks that
were true dropbacks,
true like 5-step drops, and then, you know, having a running back take the load and really not doing what we do, which is, it's third down, and I'm just going to gun it for Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like,
yes.
I do feel like, and I don't think we need to be more conservative, but we really, it's hard because it's like we wouldn't have won that game. We wouldn't have won the game 2 weeks ago had we not went for it on 4th down. I mean, don't know that for sure. And I know, you know, probably, right? And so, but it just, sometimes it feels like, okay, so look at the Lions, right? They're always going to go for it on 4th down, or Carolina, right? They were always going to go for it on 4th down.
Carolina does definitely.
They're just, that's what they're going to do, right? I know we're going to get to the defense, so the fact that we just didn't deal with that fact and know that is unhappily, like, that's ridiculous, right? But I feel like there's, okay, I'm just going to be aggressive as hell on 4th down all the time, and I don't care, right? All gas, no brakes. Yeah. Okay, we're not that. Right. We're not doing that. Then there's, okay, I'm going to go for it on 4th down because you know what? It's either all the marbles now or all the marbles later, and fuck it, let's do all the marbles. Okay, we're kind of that. But my problem is we're also this place in the middle where we're like, you know what? It's 3rd down and 2. Let's throw a bomb cover 2 over the top. Let's just try it.
Right.
Hey, it's 4th and 3, and we're on, or it's 4th and 3, and we're on the 32. So we have a less than 40-yard field goal. Right. Let's throw a 20-yard out route. Like, I don't. It's like understand where you are in the game. If you're aggressive, if you're the Lions coach, right, or you're Carolina and you've decided this is who you are, I'm going to live or die on this. But we're not that, and we never have been that. So I just don't
Matt's
understand.
Never been that. Yeah,
I just don't get it. Like, just get.
Although I will say, the play that was the kind of lightning rod, obviously coming out of that game, was the 4th and 8. Where there's 3rd and 3, and they throw the swing screen to Emmanuel Wilson, it gets blown up. And now instead of, being closer to a 4th and short or even picking it up the first down, you're in 4-down territory on 4th and 8, and Matt takes the timeout and then he comes out and then they, have the disastrous play where, again, as we were just talking about, the offensive line gives up pressure immediately. Like, Jordan doesn't have a chance on that fucking play at all. And so he's scrambling around, and then he makes the throw, and everyone's like, what the hell? And, Dobbs, no one's working back to the quarterback, etc. So all of that, right? And so on Monday, Matt's asked about that. And even after the game, he said, like, it's a decision I made, and I wanted to be aggressive, etc. Bad decision, bad play, bad whatever. But then on Monday, he was asked about it, and he's like, our guys, I was on the headset, and our guys were like, talking about the analytics guys, probably Connor Lewis, though he didn't name anybody. But he's like, the numbers bore out that, like, the analytics would say, it's a 1% difference either way, which is interesting. I didn't think of it in the moment. I was like, I know you and I were talking about it on Watch Party, and it felt obvious to kick the field goal, right? It felt so obvious. Take the points, play defense. There's still 11 minutes left, etc. But it's funny to me that, like, then God bless, shout out Jason Wilde, who, like, talked to the ESPN analytics people who were like, yeah, their model said it was a 1.5% difference either way, either kick it or go for it.
Crazy.
And I understand the idea of going for it, even on 4th and 8, even with the fact that, you've had trouble kicking the ball, like, et cetera, blah, blah. That maybe feeds into it. But it is funny to me that afterwards I can kind of sit back and relax and think, okay, I don't mind the decision to go for it. Probably wanted a better play call, and Matt probably does too. But it wasn't as egregious as a decision as I thought it was in the moment. Like, in the moment, I thought it was.
I just think that
totally
there's
ridiculous.
something. Here's the problem with analytics. Okay, I understand relying on them. Your defense,
or
in
just
this
referencing
game,
them.
But hold on, there's a human element here. This is what I want to get
definitely.
at. Okay, and this is what's not really being addressed, which is your defense has only allowed 16 points. You should win this game. Yeah, you should win this game. Okay? But you're going to say to your defense, you got what, 7 minutes left in the game? I think it might have been 8 minutes.
Oh, there's like 11 minutes at that point.
11
at the 4th
minutes,
and 8 time? It's like 11 minutes left.
11 minutes.
Yeah.
I put it on Twitter, but I forgot right now. So you have 11 minutes left in the game, and you're going to go, you know what? I can't trust our defense. We just got to go for it. And also, the second thing about that is, have you seen the Packers convert a 4th and 8?
Not in a while, no.
What are you calling on definitely. 4th and 8? Okay, our line can't block. We're going to have to pin our ears back, guys.
Right.
We're going to have to. The defense is going to pin its ears back. We're going to have to hold them for 5 seconds so we can get somebody to run down the field and get open against quarters or cover 2 or whatever the freaking prevent they're going to run on us. And we don't have a 4th and 8. We don't have that right now. And especially after you've scored, 13 points, 10 points? It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I feel you.
It's like it's not reading the room. Fuck the goddamn stats. Read the room. You got Micah Parsons. You got fucking Rashad. Everybody's been doing their job, and now you're just gonna be like, oh, there's 11 minutes. We gotta get it, you guys. It just feels desperate. Just feels so desperate.
It did feel desperate. Now that's there.
Why do you feel that desperate at 11 minutes left in the fucking
because
game?
And now this is what he was asked that, and he said, it felt like possessions had been limited and were limited throughout that game. And the opportunities to score have been limited, and they had continuously shot themselves in the foot in the red zone. So the idea being, well, we got to try and take advantage of at least one of these to put points on the board. Again, I'm not saying I would have kicked it. You would have kicked it.
I mean, here's the thing.
I'm
with you.
I'm just saying it's not as egregious as I thought it was in the moment.
I'm with the mentality if it's 4th and 3. If it's 4th and 4 even.
Right. Yeah.
4th and 8. Show me where the Packers offense on 3rd and 8 or 4th and 8 is doing anything good.
Mm-hmm. Well,
in that game. In that
game, it was a little rough. Yeah.
In the red zone. Sorry. In that game, in the red zone.
Specifically in the red zone, yeah. Where things are condensed and they're not doing much of anything. No, I feel you. I definitely feel you. Another thing on the defensive side of the ball that is starting to become way too familiar, way too prevalent, way too consistent is Keyshawn Nixon's penalty problems. Keyshawn is, doing this thing where he plays a pretty damn good game down in and down out. Every once in a while, yes, somebody has a completion against him, but then he buckles up and locks in and he's playing well. His 3rd down penalties are absolutely killing this team. Like we saw it in Pittsburgh. We saw it again in the back of the end zone against Tet on what should have been a 3rd down that got him off the field, but instead it gave the Panthers 4 more tries at the end zone. Keyshawn is a good player. We've talked about it here so many times. Maybe, I don't know, man. It looked
Carolina was getting a lot of calls in that game. They really were.
Land Clark was certainly feeling the Appalachian Mountains in his life, definitely. No question about it. But you got to be smarter there. You just got to be smarter. Don't give them a reason to throw the flag. Like that, on 3rd down in particular. Killing them. It's killing the Packers right now. He's got to stop. He's got to be smarter on 3rd down. Has to do it. Just got to do it.
What's crazy about yes, the defense did their job. What is crazy to think about is that had the defense just had 2 better plays and not even like interceptions.
That's most games, right?
Got off the field. Yeah. No, but just got out. They had the ability to get off the field 1 or 2 times, and had they done that, we would have won that game.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's
Another
the
member of the
fault,
secondary,
though. It's 100% the offense's
that
fault.
game is on the
I'm
offense.
sorry.
Zero
It is the offense
question.
and special teams
Zero
fault,
doubt.
and the fact that Brian can't fucking find a kicker to save his life is going to get him drummed out of this town. I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. It's like you got a quarterback. You figured out a quarterback. Like you did this
Micah
beautiful.
Parsons.
You did this beautiful thing. You pull the trigger on Parsons. You've done all this stuff. Okay, yeah, you suck at the first round, but you know what? We pick at 25. Who doesn't suck at picking at 25 all the time? Okay, you kind of suck in the 2nd round. Okay, 3rd round, you're really good. Okay, great. All right, give and take, whatever. We lose Mason Crosby, and we have nothing. Basically, we have a bunch of fucking garbage on this team for the rest of our lives, and I'm talking about the kicker. I guarantee you, if you do a ChatGPT, AI search of this show and everything we talked about, every transcript, I feel like in the last decade, I have talked about a fucking kicker more than I talked about it in the previous decade, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I hear you, dude. I feel you.
I don't like it.
One defensive member of the secondary who is making plays is Xavier McKinney, who had a sack fumble in this game and an interception. First player to do that from the secondary for the Green Bay Packers since Morgan Burnett did it, like back in the day.
I thought you were going to pull.
Also against Carolina.
You were going to pull a Lombardi pull. I was like, damn.
No. I
thought you were going to say like since
it ain't been that long. Yeah, right. Since Herb Adderley was patrolling Lambeau.
1968.
No. That's Morgan Burnett, but that's pretty wild. That's pretty long ago. What sucks is that great play 2011, I think. But what sucks is that McKinney had the strip sack. He had a sack and a forced fumble that bounced into the loving arms of the Carolina Panthers. Man, fumble luck just sucks. That blew. Because that should have been such a monster play in the game. And instead it was like a 7-yard gain for the Panthers. Like, that's what kind of game that was. But I am excited about the idea of McKinney playing near the line of scrimmage a little bit more. what sucks is that I doubt that happens again this week because they, want to keep a top on explosive plays, and the Eagles are going to try and get AJ Brown going, blah blah blah. Even with Barkley in town, like I suspect McKinney will be back up top, much like he has been most of the year. But this is the one game this season against the Panthers where he was in the box like 60% of the time. Like that has not occurred most.
I did not realize that. That's awesome.
And look, he made plays. I would love them to start utilizing him like that. Like a few more safety blitzes. I'm not saying every down or anything like that, but kind of like we saw from Woodson back in the day, right? It'd be great if we could get him a little bit more involved near the line.
Yeah.
And finally, Corey, you jumped the shark a little bit. You jumped the gun a little bit on special teams. You're talking about kickers, but shout out Dara. We will mention this from special teams because Dara pulled this, and this is absolutely unbelievable. The Packers currently rank dead last in the NFL in average punt return yardage at 5 yards. The last NFL team to average 5 return yards or fewer was the 2020 Green Bay Packers. And the last team before that, the 2019 Green Bay Packers. Corey, are you sensing a trend here?
I feel like the Packers treat their special teams like they treat their digital team.
Ooh, damn. Damn. Gauntlet thrown.
I just feel like they're like, oh, you know what? We don't care about that product, so fuck it. Just put anybody back there.
Anybody, whatever they got to do, just do it. Yeah.
Who cares?
Put some bodies.
Somebody
throw some
put
bodies
in the chat.
at it.
You guys would be complaining about Adam Vinatieri. What?
What?
He made all his kicks.
That's like it would be great.
Someone on never Instagram have to mention him.
Someone on Instagram this morning said, what was it? He was perfect early in the season. He literally missed a 48-yarder in week 1.
And an extra point.
People's brains have been broken. I swear to God.
That was someone responding to me on Twitter. Yeah. That was somebody, I think.
Unbelievable.
And I couldn't believe it. it.
Just like, have you watched the games? We watched the games. You should
Here's
try.
What I don't understand. I really don't get this. Are we just gonna have to wait till Brian talks after we don't get in the fucking Super Bowl? Like, when are we gonna find this out?
Probably.
We had a guy kicking 100%, and we took him out for a guy that wasn't kicking 100%.
Yeah, who's also injured and working through injury.
What are we doing?
Literally.
Like I said this 3 weeks ago, but what the fuck are we doing here? Literally, the guy was 100% in games. Last time I checked, when you have if we had a guy who was 100% pancake blocks on the right tackle, we wouldn't put a $10 billion right tackle back in. We'd be like, you know what? Let's see what we're doing okay. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've done this throughout our history where guys get injured, and it's like, oh, that guy's better? Cool. All right.
Okay, we'll go with it.
Let's burn some money. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Someone needs to explain this to me because I still don't understand, and I don't know that Matt doesn't care, which is fine.
Right there with
I
you.
don't think it's a Matt thing.
Right
it just feels like a triangle thing.
Oh, no, this is organizational thing, yeah, certainly. Yeah. I'm mystified, much like you are. I don't know.
I'm not saying Haversick is better, but at least keep the guy in until he misses.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Okay, if he misses?
Again, I cannot stress this enough. Also, he's healthy. Like, this is the thing. McManus is on the injury report. He misses a kick, and then after the game, the coach is like, well, he's battling through something. So use the healthy guy.
Also,
I don't.
You know what, like, I just feel like, you know what Ted would have done? He would have went out and got a better kicker, bro, at this point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Bob Harlan would have been like, yo, Ron Wolf, we need a better kicker because that guy sucks. Because also, who gives a fuck about a kicker? No one. 0 people. Get a new one. They're disposable. They're not Adam Vinatieri. There's only one Adam Vinatieri. There's only one Mason Crosby. He becomes the person, right? But you don't just crown a guy because he was kind of good. McManus even last year was kind of good. He wasn't Mason Crosby good. He wasn't Adam Vinatieri good. It's like, let's just be real about this for 2 seconds. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. So obviously this game on Monday night will come down to a kick, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And speaking of the Monday night game, make sure you're subscribing to the Cheesehead TV Nation newsletter for all of our coverage of the Packers. The link to do so is in the description of this video. And also, if you are a diehard member of the Cheesehead TV Nation newsletter, you will get a preview video from myself and Andy Herman each and every week, previewing every single game. It's hot stuff. Make sure you do it. Corey, you ready for this nonsense?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
This week in the Packer Blogosphere.
That's right. It's this week in the Packer Blogosphere, the return of that venerable series, brought to you by Luigi's Pizza. Game nights start with Luigi's Big Daddy Pizza, loaded with toppings. Choose from double sausage, double mushroom, extra special, mega meaty, and more. The kids want garlic bread? Try their Big Daddy garlic dippers, sauce included for the little ones, and a Big Daddy for the grown-ups. Our friends at Luigi's have the whole family covered. Find Luigi's in the freezer aisle of your local grocer. Taste the tradition.
Luigi.
Nice. Now I need some pizza. That's what I need some pizza. Now I'm hungry. So, Blogosphere, let's go. There's so many folks talking about Tucker Kraft, but I very much appreciated this person saying, take my knee. Let's take a listen.
This message is for Tucker Kraft and Tucker Kraft only. I may not be 6'5", but I do have 2 ACLs. If you need one from a 5'8" woman, I can help you out. I will donate to the cause because we need you back. Please.
Feels like that's a pretty universal feeling in Packers fandom this week. Like people just begging something to, happen to make Tucker Kraft all right. But 'twas not to be. Meanwhile, there are people who cover the NFL, who have played in the NFL, who talk about the Green Bay Packers, and most of it I dismiss. But I did find this correlation, this comparison, interesting from an unlikely source. Let's take a listen.
What's the point of trading for Micah Parsons?
Just to lose to the Panthers.
In their defense, they're still a young team, which I feel like we've been saying that for the last 5 years.
We've been saying that for 4 years now. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Everyone's been saying, SGA, Young Buck, Chet Holmgren, Young Buck, all that. Well, they were saying that 2 years ago, and then it was, okay, they can't say that anymore, and now they won a championship.
That's a great reference right there.
Like, they've been together too long now. They should be putting it together and know how to win football games together. The chemistry kind of still isn't there all the way.
He's spot on in that last part. And that's what kind of caught me, because I remember watching the NBA Finals and thinking, how people had talked about how Oklahoma City was this young team and blah, blah, blah. And it harkens back to what Brian talked about this past offseason when people ask about, the youngest team in the league, which they are yet again.
Yep.
But his standard answer was, yeah, but they've played a lot of football for us, right? And to Gronk's point, and I can't believe I just used that sentence, but to Gronk's point, they have played a lot of football together, but they don't look like it. No. They don't look like it at all.
Well,
that's not wrong. That's not wrong.
True, and I think he's really talking more about offense. I know it is kind of a overall
Probably,
thing,
yeah. Definitely.
But I think... And I'm going to be like my mother and be defensive and defend the Green Bay Packers because I'm optimistic.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's how I learned it. And shout out, Mom. Love you. No Wicks, no Reed, no Kraft. That was all your chemistry. And you can talk to me about Dobbs, but Dobbs is really good at exactly the play you need him to run. But he's not Jordy Nelson, and he's not Randall Cobb.
No.
And
he's not a dynamic
Devontae
playmaker.
Adams.
No.
He's not a guy you can just trust to know what to do. And why I brought up those three guys, because they're very different wide receivers, but they developed a relationship with their quarterback, all three of those guys, where they were the guy that could always bail out their guy. And we don't have that player right now for Jordan. We just don't.
What's weird, too, is it feels like Jordan kind of leans into Dobbs because of the absence of those other guys, right? And I talked about this a little bit on Happy Hour last night, but yeah, it feels like this offense in general is a little bit too Dobbs-centric. And that's not a knock on Romeo in any way, shape, or form. But, man, there are so many instances where they're going to Romeo or Jordan is looking for or going to Romeo when there are, you got Golden out there begging to be thrown to.
Well, and
at any
I just
point.
wonder if
and
the
has
Golden
some athleticism. You drafted him in the first round for a reason, right? But
I
they're
just wonder
never
if,
utilizing that athleticism.
I just think to Gronk's point about chemistry, right? It's like it goes beyond X's and O's, and it becomes a thing of like, speed. Things happen at the speed of trust, and the speed of trust between Jordan, it's not very fast. And it's X's and O's are good. And I don't think it's that Jordan doesn't trust Golden, but you know how, and I used to make,
but it's not his default. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I would always make fun of Rodgers when he would be like, oh, don't know my hand signals, all this stuff. And I do think when you look at what Rodgers was saying, I think actually, yes, it did come down to those subtle hand signals and those subtle things that you can do. But again, that's just a way of defining chemistry. It's just a way of saying, I trust this guy inherently, and here's the crazy thing. You look at Jordan's throws. I was watching QB School on Jordan Love last week, which was so good. Yeah. And that one pass, you don't even realize he's throwing it like 3 seconds before the guy, like 2 seconds before he even makes the turn. And like, there's just these incredible, but again, those are structures. Those are foundational. What we're talking about is it's 4th and 8 and your offensive line just shit the bed. Romeo, get the fuck back and get back to your quarterback at 8 yards and make yourself open to him.
Yeah.
Like, it's those kind of things where Randall Cobb was that guy. Jordy Nelson was that guy. Devontae Adams, also amazing wide receiver, but he was that guy. Right. Even
no, you're not wrong.
Even I'm trying to think of Favre guys that were that guy that weren't the Jordy Nelsons of the world. The Donald Drivers, right? Donald Driver was a guy who
Donald Driver was that guy.
He got you 8 when you needed 8. When your quarterback was running around scrambling, because he just changed. He was like, "Oh, we're doing this now," and it doesn't. You know what it feels like? It's like when my girlfriend is driving. I think everything is okay. I think everything is okay as long as nothing happens.
Sure, as long as there's unimpeded progress.
A car swerves, or we have to turn immediately, or something that's when I'm gonna get worried. And I feel like that's the Packers right now. It's like as long as everything is structured and how the play is called, it's the breakdown plays. It's the breakdown, which is the NFL, right? That's the rugby, a part of it.
That's
it's
100%.
The breakdown where chemistry does matter in those moments, and we don't have it. Yeah. Gronk's right.
Gronk is right. I know. Again, words I never thought I'd say, but he's right. Speaking of plays that are called and trying to make them work, I absolutely love this about one of the bugaboos that I think lots of Packers fans have been talking about this week. Let's take a listen.
I was just in an all-staff meeting, and at the end of it, my boss said, "Are there any other questions?" And I said, "Yes, I have one. Why are we running bubble screens on 3rd and long?" And everybody started laughing like I was making a joke. And I was like, no, seriously, though, why? Why?
God bless her. That's Sarah Kay. I don't know her channel very well, but that came across my feed, and I was laughing. Like, that is perfect. Yeah, why, Matt? It's killing me. I mean,
they work because they worked, but they don't work 20 times in a row.
Sometimes. Exactly. Speaking of Matt, the drum beats grow louder. The natives grow restless about LaFleur's tenure as Green Bay Packers head coach.
Oh, my God.
Had to lose it on someone on Daily the other night, and I am a very emotional human being, but I thought Andy Herman handled this question perfectly. Let's take a listen.
If you continue to have the same mistakes over and over, and you continue to show the same issues week in and week out, and you have basically the same kind of game that you did against Cleveland a few weeks ago and didn't learn from that mistake and continue to play down to your opponent, then that's a totally different story. And then we're going to very much talk about it. Now, for those that are like thinking, hoping, desiring for Matt LaFleur to get fired tomorrow morning, I wouldn't get your hopes up. If this continues to be the case, will he be on the hot seat at the end of the season? Absolutely. There's extremely high expectations for this team. There's no question about it. When you go make a Micah Parsons deal, there comes a huge responsibility and a huge goal that comes along with that, and huge expectations that come along with that for the season. If this team doesn't make the playoffs or is one and done with a game similar to Philly from a year ago, absolutely, there's going to be that conversation, both externally and internally for Green Bay. Is that going to happen now, this week? No, there's no chance of that happening. But it'll continue to inch warmer and warmer if these things continue to happen.
See, look at him all calm and reasonable there. I mean, Corey, I got hot under the collar and started yelling. But, Andy handles it perfectly there. And he's, by the way, he is 1 billion% spot on in everything he just said.
Yeah, I mean, it was very nuanced what he said. I mean, here's the thing. Yeah. Here's you want to get brass tacks? Okay.
Get brass tacks, baby.
Ed Policy has to make a decision. He already said he doesn't want to leave people on a 1-year deal, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Right. Doesn't want any lame ducks.
Brian and Matt are going to get signed to multi-year deals. Unless, and there's only one thing. If he makes the playoffs, I don't care how much they shit the bed in the playoffs. I don't think that as long as they make the playoffs, Matt is going to get a deal, I think. I mean, barring some little things, whatever, but I just don't see that. Mm-hmm. If they don't make the playoffs, I think then Ed has to make a decision based on what he's seen of this team this year and how it's gone. But given Matt's track record, you want to talk about stats, you're looking at a data-driven analysis team, not just on Matt's side, but on Brian's side, on everybody in 1265, and the data does not bear out anyone's emotions about Matt LaFleur as a coach. So
I feel you. I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. And I think
also here's the problem.
Here's
the thing that people don't really get. The number one thing to judge Matt and this team on, in my opinion, and what I think that 1265 and Brian are judging Matt and this team on, even more than how well this team does, is the continuing development of Jordan Love as a quarterback in this league. And the longer that they have a bond together and continue to grow together, mm-hmm. I don't think you can afford to disrupt that relationship.
Right. I feel you. I mean, that's a tough situation, though, because, sure, Jordan Love's putting up insane numbers. I mean, I know he had some rough decisions on that, the interception, whatever, but it's not like he didn't play well outside of those rough moments. And he has played very, very well throughout this season. But then there comes the question of, well, okay, why is the offense not being driven through Jordan Love? He is playing well. He is playing at the kind of upper echelon of the NFL, of the league. Plenty of teams, 25 other teams probably beg to have Jordan Love as their quarterback. Well, so why are we running this offense through Josh Jacobs? And I'm not saying, look, I love it. I love everything about the idea of working play action off of Jacobs or whatever. But I'm just saying there's a potential, because we don't know what Ed wants or what Ed thinks. There's a potential they get to a point where he says, okay, we've got this great quarterback, but we continue to put the handcuffs on him. I don't know. I guess to be able to talk to Ed about it. But
I guess my point is, one, we've lost 2.5 games.
No, I get you. No doubt.
Okay.
Still in first place.
If we lost 2.5, we're first place in the NFC North. We've lost 2.5 games. And at any point in the history of the fucking Green Bay Packers, that's not 1994 to 1998 or 2008 to 2012 or 1966, 65 to 68, we would be perfectly happy with where we are right now.
Well, and that's the other component here, and that's what I really appreciated about what Andy said, because I yelled it, but Andy said it. It's like no one's making a determination after a bad loss in Week 9, right? Was anybody here in the streets championing or like braying for Gutekunst and LaFleur to get extensions after Weeks 1 and 2? No. Because we all knew, it's just 2 games. There's a lot of season left. There's still a lot of season left.
Yeah.
Like these people that want firings after every game, it's like, can we let it play out? Just let it play out. And how they play down the stretch and into the playoffs will be the determining factor. I guarantee it. You know, it's
also,
like what's happening now is immaterial.
Here's my biggest problem with fans like that. I'm not trying to gatekeep, but I'm like, there's plenty of teams that do this. The Vikings. They're good. They make a bunch of dumbass management and administrative decisions, and now they're bad. And guess what? When you take away your coach or your general manager, you're blowing up your team. I'm sorry. Yes, there are examples where it gets better the next year. They're rare. They're really rare. Yep. So you're basically saying, you know what? We spent all this money on all these people, and we're not going to believe in them over 32 games or 40-some games? Like, this is just the way, regardless of what Ed thinks, this is the way the Packers are run. They don't think in even 18 games. They think in a little bit longer unless there's something
long-term
catastrophic or detrimental that's happening. And I don't see anything detrimental. I see a weak offensive line that we haven't been able to get healthy or haven't been able to decide who the hell is going to be in the position. Is that Matt's fault, ultimately? I don't think so. I don't.
I feel you. But ultimately, it comes down to one phrase. There's a lot of ball game left, Corey. And in that spirit, you can get your holiday sweater. Cheesehead TV's lot of ball game left sweater is available now. Get early shopping, ladies and gentlemen. Get your holiday sweater. There's a link in the description of this video for you to do so. Look at that. Brent, shout out. I absolutely love this thing. I ordered this the second it went up in our store.
Get it.
I absolutely love it.
I expect everyone on the stream to buy this sweater right now.
How great is that?
Also, I'm proud of Nagler. After 310 episodes of this show, he finally did a transition without patting himself on the back. So kudos.
Without pointing out the transition?
I watched you not point it out, by the way. I watched you not. I literally, I can see inside of your brain. It's so fucking weird. I was literally watching you not say, "Did you like what I did there?" I was waiting for the "Did you like?"
You were waiting for it. You were waiting for it.
Oh dear.
I love it. I think some people have some things to say on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Do they?
We got through all those. Ed. Thanks to the Super Chat. If we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. So no effing pre-snap penalties. Also dominate on both sides of the ball. Yeah,
appreciate
offense.
That Lombardi quote.
Offense high. We need you, please. Dustin Logan, please. More forward passes, less behind the line passes. That seems easy.
Agreed. Dustin, agreed.
James, I don't give a fuck. Packers winning by 14, never a doubt. Go Pack, go. Look.
Let's go, James.
This is I've been working on myself this week because I know this is like this is the biggest game of the season. Okay, like let's be real.
Yes,
like
sir.
this
Correct.
is Correct. This is probably going to be up to, like, after Monday night, it will most likely be the most watched NFL game of the season. Now, there probably will be bigger watched games, but it is going to be. Mm-hmm. This is all the marbles for the NFC, in my opinion. And
all right.
I think the Packers are going to show up. I think they're geeked. I think they're excited. I would love to see. I think we're going to see a week 1 or week 2 showing by the Green Bay Packers. I really do. I just think we're going to I just think and what I like if that happens is that we know that we have a team that can show up when it matters, which honestly, the Browns and the Panthers don't matter.
Don't matter? All right.
JP, hope Bukowski cashes in our DVOA points on Monday.
The thing is I look at DVOA every week, every single week. I just don't tweet about it. I don't talk about it, blah, blah, blah. But I look at the DVOA. I look at all the stuff from FTN. I think Schatz and company do phenomenal work. But you do kind of leave yourself open when you start talking about, there's top 10 in DVOA. It's like, great. They just lost to the Panthers. Awesome.
Isn't DVOA like a defensive stat?
No. It's team encompassing.
Oh, I didn't
mean, you can break
that.
it down on both sides of the ball and then look at the entirety of the teams. Yes.
Oh, okay. Michael Carson felt like I cursed Kraft. Bought his jersey last week to wear and support him for this game, and he ends up tearing his ACL. I was like, what the?
Oh, it ain't you, brother. It ain't you. That does suck.
It ain't you.
I feel you.
Here's honestly though, what you just said is why I only buy Legend jerseys. Because it's the only way to make your money
jersey
last.
ain't never gonna let you down.
Yeah, I got a Bart Starr, I got a Ray Nitschke, I got what else do I have? I have a Craig Newsome, which I actually love that
Craig
jersey.
Newsome.
That's a great jersey, and also he had 3 really good years. Yeah, won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So once they win the Super Bowl, I think it's fine. But until they win a Super Bowl, I feel like you're just playing with fire.
Don't disagree there. Absolutely.
Lucum's 8. Corey's topper talk needs to take 2 weeks off and then quit. Here's the thing, Luke.
Oh, that's so good.
Okay. Here's the thing about Topper, okay?
God.
Had we
won the Topper.
Okay, we won the Topper, but our kicker
if we'd won it earlier.
Our kicker missed, and we should have kicked. Had we done those two things and won the Topper. So, I mean, Topper tells.
I feel you.
Topper is a tale of the story, depending on who you're playing. It is a tale, though. It is a tale.
Well, that's the thing, too. With the Panthers in particular, wanted to win Topper. They wanted to keep the ball out of the Packers' hands. So it was relevant. I'll give you that.
Dustin Logan. It stinks. No more hotness videos. But congratulations on being big enough for the man to be watching y'all. Well, no, what it is YouTube did a deal with the NFL, and
it's just
then
an
basically,
algorithm. Yeah,
actually,
exactly.
You know what's happening? There's a guy on YouTube that does music, and I can't remember his name, and he's got millions of followers, and he basically shows you how music is made and all this stuff, and he's having this whole huge fight with Universal Music where he makes enough money on his channel to sue them because he has a fair use issue because he's literally doing hey, here's how Led Zeppelin made this song.
He's explaining, and he's adding on. He's not just playing it.
Educating. Yeah. And
educating. Exactly.
He has
commenting
this whole video that is incredible about how much money he has spent because at the end of the day, the DCMCIA, which is the Digital Rights Copyright Act, it does not really have any enforcement. You have to go to court. Well, anybody who knows anything about court knows when you go to court, that just means spending money. Going to court, and you're spending money not for a monetary thing. You're spending money to just spend money to get a result, meaning I get to do this. But here's the crazy thing. It works on every one. So if you use one use, you have to sue on that use if they don't believe you. Then you have to sue on every use. So they can just pick at you forever.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Forever.
It's crazy.
Correct.
And expecting Congress to fix that, good luck. Hopefully they fix
happen.
daylight savings time so we don't have this. I mean, I do love Lambeau at night. It's great. But it
looks great.
It's 5:12, people. It's 5:12 and it's already dark here. So please, Congress, get rid of daylight savings time.
They'd have to get to work first before that happens. And
that's right.
Good luck with that.
That's right.
They're not even working.
Ian, thanks, Super Chat. Hey, Corey and Aaron, it's been a bit since I joined live. Packers are going to win.
Up, Ian?
Thanks for all Cheesehead TV does. Negs, it's time. Who's going to win on Monday?
Oh, the Packers. Come on now. We all know this. Come on. Get with it. Let's do it.
Uncultured Barbarian. Coach needs an offensive coordinator, and can we please activate the kicker with the bionic leg on game day? I don't get how 1265 does some things, and I'm an owner.
Well, you got to demand privy to the decision-making there. I think your letter should be strongly worded and sent to Ed Policy. I'm sure that'll fix
that. Mike Witt. Are we to the point of the season that we can admit that moving 74 to center was a mistake? He was so dominant at left guard, but meh at center.
Yeah, I think it's certainly not gone the way they'd hoped. Let's put it that way. I think that is absolutely fair to say. I know, dominant at left guard. I mean, he was good at left guard. I don't think he was like all pro or anything, but he was certainly playing better at left guard than he has been at center. Of that, I can agree.
I think, personally, whoever is managing the scout for center and what we should do at center should be fired. Because the last 6 or so years,
since Corey Linsley was allowed to leave,
there's been no plan to replace Corey Linsley.
Yeah. Well, no, they had a plan. It was Josh Myers, and they wrote
it. Right, but a
plan
is not just getting one person. That's not a plan. That's a tactic.
Right.
A plan, a strategy is like, hey, let's fix this problem. We need multiple things to fix this problem. And, like, to me, like, okay, I don't.
Well, you don't trust Jacob Monk? Come on now. That was a joke.
Mike Witt, as far as the punt returns, why not bring back Hardman? He could not be any worse than what we already have, can it?
If they're going to use Hardman, they use Hardman. I mean, I don't disagree, Mike. And I said it all summer long. And I said it after they released him and brought him back on the practice squad and said it while he was on the practice squad. And then they released him. I don't know, man. Packers like to do things the hard way. I wish I knew. And to Corey's point, it'd be great to be able to talk to the general manager and ask him this question, but probably won't hear from him until after the season.
April.
I have no idea. I have
February.
no clue. Yep.
Brandy Lewis, well, counterpoint on me driving as a woman. Did you die? LOL. Okay. Just for the record, and the reason I put that up there, besides the fact that it was Brandy, is that I was not. Good. I was specifically talking about.
You were not casting aspersions about the entire female
being. I was not making any kind of general gender associative thing.
This one person in particular.
This one person who I know, who I'm specifically talking about, who just so happens,
to be a woman. Yeah, I feel
this is how people, this is how people get misconstrued. You're just asking a question like, what would compel someone to wear a Brandon McManus jersey, and all of a sudden I'm the one who's dragged, and then he drags me, and people are making shit up. Mike Witt, remember, Dungy was a very good coach, but could not get Tampa over the hump. They fire him, hire Gruden, and they win a Super Bowl. Do we have the same situation with Matt LaFleur?
Possibly. We'll find out.
I mean, here's the thing now. Let's think about what you just said. Okay, the way you put that, Eeyore number 2, the big thing is, what did they give up for Gruden?
Oh, they traded picks and shit, right?
Yeah, dude, number 1s, okay? Mm-hmm. Let me just tell you. Brian G. ain't giving up a number 1 for a coach, bro. Unless Vince Lombardi raised himself up from the dead, I just do not see that happening, dude. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, it also helped that they, faced off against one of their old former colleagues in the Super Bowl. Like, there was a lot of levels there about why Gruden was successful in Tampa.
Neil Flynn, the Packers have been so inconsistent that not even Dennis Green knows who they are.
They are who we thought they might be, but clearly aren't, so we're not quite sure.
We're not really
sure.
That
would have been his quote. It's pretty good.
Mike Witt, I still think if McDaniel gets let go in Miami, something tells me he's going to get a call to be on the staff next year.
It's possible. I suspect he'd probably end up as an offensive coordinator somewhere, but could it be in Green Bay? Maybe. Maybe Stenovich gets a job someplace else, but yeah.
We need
we know they know each other. They've worked together in the past. Yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah, it's possible. Not saying it's impossible, but I think he'll have options.
Travis Nelson, should Tom move to center, then Jenkins back to guard?
It's a great theory, but I doubt it happens, especially after they paid Tom to be a tackle. I think one of the things I am interested to see along the offensive line this week is, can Jordan Morgan start rotating with Rasheed Walker at left tackle? That's one thing that I could realistically see happening. But, yeah, moving Tom, I'd be very surprised.
Shout out to Gino Fick for saying Rick Beato, who was the YouTube creator that I was talking
Rick.
about.
Yeah.
Rick Beato, who's incredible. If you have a chance,
channel's incredible,
if you like
dude.
any
That
kind of
channel's
music,
awesome.
that guy is
He's
incredible.
amazing.
He interviews some of the most amazing musicians in the history of the world, and just the way I like. There's a segment he has, and Nagler and I've talked about it many times, where he basically listens to the top 10 songs in the world right now, and then he goes through them on guitar, and he immediately like finds the riff and does the thing, and he's like, yeah, they're doing this and then this. It's like musical theory, music, and pop culture, and it's just everything. And the guy
all
is
melded together.
Genius.
It's a great channel.
The guy's genius.
And he, like you said, he talks to everyone too. It's amazing. Like the interviews he has are incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way he talks
stuff.
about music and the way he distills music down to like storytelling and like how it is, it's yeah. Anyway, I know it's a sports channel, but that's the guy I was talking about. But again, but the thing that's happening to Rick is happening to a lot of content creators that are in the middle space where they don't have lawyers, but they're still doing like the whole point of the Digital Copyright Management Act of 2000, I believe it was 2000, was to help people understand copyright.
That's the
to
point,
be able to,
right? Exactly.
It was to
what's
protect
so
copyright
tough about
owners, but also explain reasons why, it does. Like the fact that we have an hour and 20-minute show, and the NFL and YouTube think that 30 seconds of showing a thing that we're going to help explain to people out of a 90-minute it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Nuts. Also, by the way, it's free marketing for you, but yeah, definitely shut it down. Like it's just, yeah.
Well, it's more insidious. Like the funny thing to me is like shutting it down would actually be better in some ways than just saying, "Oh, we're just going to take your money." It's like Sting being like, "Oh yeah, you copied one little beat of my song. I'm taking
clip
the whole
of
thing.
Every breath you take. You owe me $5,000 a day for the rest of your life." Yeah.
And I get all the stuff. Mike Witt, thanks for super chat. Don't know if we'll win or lose, but I really want Christian to torch Jair Monday. Is Jair going to play on Monday?
Well, that's remains to be seen. We'll see, though. He's been in the building now for a little over a week, so potentially they have him up in some kind of reserve capacity, maybe in dime, but we'll see.
Can you imagine if Ed fires LaFleur and hires Gruden?
Oh, God. Dog, can we come back from La La Land? This ain't.
I'm just saying. That's just crazy talk.
You sound like the comments section, man.
I got that from the comments section
right now.
That's where I got that.
Obviously, you did.
I just was like, wow, that's crazy. But then I was like, well, he's working at Barstool, so he clearly wants a football. He's young enough to still coach. He's going to coach in the NFL probably if he gets
probably, but it won't be in Green Bay.
Never know.
I'm just saying. You're right. You were right. The very first utterance out of your mouth was correct. That's crazy. Period. End of discussion.
Never know.
I do know. Ain't gonna happen. Well, okay. What's next?
That's it. That's all we got.
That's it.
Just sitting here.
That's
I'm
it.
smiling
We're
at
ending
you.
on Gruden.
Just sitting here smiling.
Gruden could coach again in Green Bay. Amazing. So we should give out shout out to our Patreon members, the lifeblood of everything we do here at Cheesehead TV. We greatly appreciate your support. Along with Care of the G Club members here on YouTube, thank you so much. Each and every week, you guys make watch parties a lot of fun, even when the Packers are not. Got anything else before we head out into the evening there, Banky?
Oh, I do have one thing I want to say. Lieutenant Dan, a member of the Carry the G Club for 26 months. Nothing but positive vibes now that Matt LaFleur Diamond TM is off my chest. Page is now turned. I'm confident Matt LaFleur will come out with hot piss on Monday. Go, Pack, go. So, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Corey, you missed it on Happy Hour last night. Dan had a new, not a triangle, as we have often talked about, but he had a diamond of the many ways that LaFleur drives him insane, essentially. So that's been exorcised, and now Monday, LaFleur's going to ball out. Very excited.
Got it.
I'm very happy.
Got it.
That'll do it for this episode of Packer Transplants. We'd like to thank everyone who makes Cheesehead TV part of their daily Packers routine. We are and will always be devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.
I think it's a fluid situation, and I know you guys love it, especially Nagler. I can see you smirking at me right there. We're going to take it one day at a time, and it's going to be fluid, though. That's all I can tell you.